light that I have now as a white woman who leads a Black-led sport and celebrated here, I want to show a light on Black women. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve.
Guys, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. And guys, Paige Bueckers is stunning, okay? She has stunned the cover of GQ. Now, speaking of GQ, again, I understand that stands for what? Gentleman's Esquire? Is it just me? Maybe I'm confused. Again, I'm a huge magazine head, at least I used to be. Growing up as a kid, I used to love, reading and thumbing through my mom's magazine. She was subscribed to so many magazines, right? But as I've known it to be, again, GQ is for men. Like, is it common for women to cover the cover of GQ? Again, like I'm not upset or anything. I'm just like, I just never known like a lot of women to cover the cover of GQ. But anyways, it don't matter because again, Paige Bueckers is now on it. Okay, she has, if you will, has made a new trend of women covering and stunning on the cover of GQ. Now, if you go to GQ's official website, guys, you can read the entire interview. Okay, I did. I want to read you just a little bit of excerpts of it. Okay, of the interview. And, regarding some things that, some people kind of say like it sparked controversy. But again, I think it's very important. And I want to read a little bit to you. So at the very end of this article, it reads, when she arrived in the village of stores, she says, we didn't even know if we were going to have a season yet. The team trained and socialized in a COVID bubble. Me and that freshman class, I feel like they're going to be my bridesmaids, she says. Not that she's planning a wedding anytime soon. She says, I'm more just focused on basketball. She says of her relationship status. Plus, she adds of dating. It's a crazy world out here. Now, again, like she's been linked to some people. Some people say that she's been dating secretly a basketball player by the name of Matt Freeman. I believe he plays for the men's Huskies at the University of UConn, of course, University of Connecticut. But again, she has never been publicly linked to anybody, and I like that about her. Again, I always say celebrities, specifically athletes, keep your relationship private. Okay, it's okay to be, proud of your relationship, be it heterosexual or homosexual. But again, keep the main thing, okay? Because usually a lot of drama comes out and about when you publicly display your partner. That's why, like, I'm so scared for Flau'jae Johnson. It's like, girl, you made a whole R&B album that just dropped this February 14th. Okay, this past Valentine's Day, and she booed up with this young black handsome man that goes to LSU. He plays college football, but it's like, girl, now that the girls know that he's with you, they're gonna be coming for your man. See, Paige Bueckers got it right. Okay, whoever she dating, she don't even want the girls to know because people are like just so grimy these days. I like that she's like, you know what? Of her relationship status, I'm just focused on basketball. The world is crazy. I feel the same way about dating too. Girl, it's just too much craziness going on. It's too many horror stories, and we ain't got time for no drama. The Huskies did have a season, and for Bueckers, it was an explosive one. She put up 32 points against St. John's and 14 assists against Butler, won Big East Player of the Year, AP Player of the Year, and Naismith College Player of the Year. Paige Bueckers came into this space with a ton of hype, and man, she out-delivered it immediately, says ESPN anchor Elle Duncan. At the 2021 ESPY Awards, I remember this, okay, and people was mad, the then 19-year-old was named the best college athlete of the year in women's sports. Bueckers was officially and suddenly the face of women's college basketball, and she had mixed feelings about it. I want to shed a light on Black women, she said as she received her award. They don't get the media coverage that they deserve. They've given so much to the sport, the community, and society as a whole, and their value is undeniable. Oh my God. I can't even believe that, a young white woman was able to have such a compelling speech. Instead of like putting the spotlight on herself, she was like, you know what? I also want to thank, the Black women, the incredible Black female athletes that I'm surrounded with. She said they did so much for basketball, the nation, the community, and like, just the society as a whole. And like, again, a lot of people had very strong opinions and mixed feelings about what she said when she received that ESPY Awards all the way back in 2021. The speech was met with a standing ovation and the internet erupted with praise. I was completely blown away, Duncan says. Bob says he may or may not have cried. I think it probably caught a lot of people by surprise, but it didn't surprise me, he says. I grew up with a lot of influential Black women in my life, Bueckers tells me. Her longtime AAU coach, Tara Starks, her former stepmother, mom to her stepbrother Randy, and half-brother Drew. Countless teammates she's played with over the years. I feel like a lot of people shy away from having those conversations, she says of her speech, but to use my platform to do that, I thought was very important. Again, that's so sweet of her. And guys, yes, again, it's no secret. It's like, a lot of people like to joke, even her friends, such as KK Arnold, like to clown her. She has a lot of swag, okay? She has a lot of soul of a Black woman. I remember in one interview, they was like, what is your pregame, like, song that you like to listen to? And it was a gospel song by Marvin Sapp. And then, like, again, like she introduced us to her little brother, her half sibling brother from her dad's side, named Drew.
Like fuck, she wanna listen to Tusi. Like the bitch keep calling my name, touch me, try to give me some cool. Like we in the party, she throwing her.
Drew is a very, brown skinned, black looking little boy. Okay, he's obviously half black. They share the same father, the father, Papa Bueckers. But again, like I believe her mother and father, they divorced again. She was born and raised in Minnesota. Her mother and father divorced. I believe her mom now lives in Montana, the state of Montana, with her new husband and like 3 kids. And then Paige Bueckers, she linked up with AZ Fudd. AZ Fudd is a resident. She was born and raised in the state of Virginia. And again, it's like AZ Fudd. Again, she has a black father and a white mother. So she's a mixed race, biracial woman of African and European descent. So Paige Bueckers kind of like, she befriended AZ Fudd from a young age, I believe middle school, high school, just from playing basketball. She actually moved to Virginia and played with AZ Fudd on the same basketball team. Like they lived together, right? And it's like, she's like, I have so many black women in my life that I grew up with that were very positive, influences of over my life, including her former stepmom. I believe her dad is divorced, but her stepmom, again, is a black woman who, she's the one who gave birth to her little brother, Drew. And she's very, very close to Drew, okay? She's always crying about, she doesn't like leaving him.
Paige.
What?
How are you the best basketball player and better than Steph Curry?
I learned everything I know from Drew.
I will always love you.
Not Paige? Wow.
And
How I
Paige.
do.
And again, it's just like, you can just tell, like with her swag and the way she carries herself, the music that she likes to listen to, she has been around, specifically black women, but black people, but mainly black women, for a large portion of her life. And like, you can tell by like the way, it's just like a lot of her ways, if you know, you know. Bueckers accepted her SB award 2 months after undergoing an ankle surgery to repair cartilage damage, assuming the minor setback would be only one of her college career. Then a meniscus tear and a tibial plateau fracture in December 2021 saw her bench for 19 games during her sophomore season, and a torn ACL ruled her out for her entire junior year. Fans everywhere agreed Bueckers' injuries. She was the transformational, generational talent that was promised, Duncan says, and to see so much of that momentum stalled multiple times because of things that were not within her control was devastating. But according to Ariama, Bueckers herself kept pity at bay. Some kids, when they are missing the thing that they love the most, when that's taken away from them, they have a tendency to feel sorry for themselves, the coach says. She was completely the opposite of that. I know that probably inside it was killing her, but never once did she show that. Again, that's that resiliency and that strength that Paige Bueckers possesses. For much of her life, Bueckers thought she was invincible. When the inevitable did happen, she says, quite literally, thank God for my faith, because if I didn't have that, I feel like I wouldn't have made it through. I remember Dejanay Carrington said the same thing. Like, again, she had 6 surgeries on her knee, I believe either prior to graduating high school or in the middle of college. And like, she was able to, walk, and like they got all the scar tissue removed on her, like her 6th surgery. And she was able to walk again, run, jump, skip, hop right prior before the WNBA's conditioning training camp was to happen. She said like she went to church and just broke down in tears, thinking like, this got to be God. Like this got to be God. The fact that I was able to come back from 6 knee surgeries and be able to be healthy enough to compete, and not only just the upcoming WNBA season, but right before training camp. And again, it's like Paige Bueckers said the same thing. She's like, what, it has to be my faith. It has to be God, because, I've had all these injuries, the ACL, the torn meniscus. It's like, it's just so much damage that, it's like, I don't want to say it's a good damage, but it's like just that passion for the sport, that drive for competitiveness. It does so much damage on these young women's bodies. Like, look at AZ Fudd. Look at Ashlyn Watkins. And it's like for them to say like, what, not that they don't care about their health and their bodies, of course, but they have that passion and that love and that respect for the sport so much. They just want to heal and get through that damage, that trauma, and the damage that it caused from playing basketball to continue to play basketball. Like, it's crazy. Bueckers wears her faith as proudly as her team colors, often referencing God in her interviews and social media captions. Though she grew up Catholic, she wasn't very religious until high school, when she began attending a non-denominational church regularly with her then stepmother and would pray with an assistant coach and a trainer. How Bueckers became an athlete who listens to gospel before games, she says, is best summed up by a quote she once heard. I didn't build my relationship with God because of the way I was brought up, but more because I've seen the way he's impacted my life. Guys, I'm going to stop reading the interview from there. Again, it's a really good interview. Okay, and again, like Paige Bueckers was stunning. Okay, I'm going to be, including all the photos that, really captured my eye in this GQ magazine interview. Again, she did her 10 Things I Can't Live Without. She is an iPad kid. Okay, yes, she's 23 years old, but she's just like the little gremlins running around here, the toddlers that you see. They got their hands stuck on their iPad because they're addicted to Coco Melon and Bluey and all the stuff that my nieces and nephew like to watch. Again, that is Paige Bueckers down. Again, this was an amazing, incredible interview. I'm rooting for Paige Bueckers again. I really want to see her come to the Dallas Wings. I understand, like from my understanding, that she does not seem that impressed with the team. It seems like she was really banking on the LA Sparks, but it is what it is. Now, girl, you got Melissa Smith, you got Dejanay Carrington. Again, her and Dejanay Carrington gonna be a straight up hoot. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. I believe it is in her best interest, and it was destiny for her to be drafted to the Dallas Wings team in its upcoming draft, this 2025 WNBA season draft. Again, shout out to Paige Bueckers. Okay, shout out to her and her family. I love her relationship that she has with AZ Fudd, her relationship with Coach Gino Ariama. Again, it's only up for here for Paige Bueckers, and I can't wait to see her in a Dallas Wings jersey. I might just start having to fly out to Dallas just to see some games.